Good morning. Today is day 99 of moving mountains beneath my feet. We are 121 days flying through the solar system on our journey around the sun. There's 241 days left in the year. And this is episode, I don't even know. It's got to be close to 60 or something like that. I need to go back and do the math. But anyway, I am back out here on my hike this morning. Beautiful sunrise. And today's May 1st of 2023. And so what does that mean? That means that 4 months of 2023 have passed already. That's a whole quarter. So I'm just reflecting and thinking about what have I accomplished? What have I done in the quarter of this year, the first quarter of this year? And a lot of it was really, really deeply focused on some healing and health work and moving my body and getting into routines and just doing some work that I didn't realize I needed to do, that life kind of put me in a really tough position at the beginning of this year or at the end of last year. And I made so much progress. And it reminds me of a process, right? I think yesterday or the last day I did this, I was talking about like knowing where you're going. And the most effective way that has worked for me when setting goals and like tracking that stuff, I know there's people who have a hard time with that. But the thing that has worked best for me is not to set super long-term, yearly, 2-year goals. It's really to break down your goals into 90 days, right? 90-day sets of goals. And it's not a quarter. 4 months is more than a quarter. 3 months is a quarter. Sorry. But you get the point. So 90-day goals, breaking down what you're going to do or what you wish to accomplish within 90 days. Because it's long enough to get something actually done, and it's short enough to not get distracted by so many other things, right? So when you have a whole year out, what you started out in the year and what you end up in the year is very different. And so it just gives you a more tangible, easier way to track things and to map things out, right? You can break those 3 months, those 90 days down into, you can reverse engineer what you need to do. So say, hey, by the end of 90 days, I want to do this, this, and this, and then break that down, right? There's a whole process. What's this guy's name? I can't remember his name, but he did a program called the 90-day year, which that 90-day year was one of the most effective ways that I have ever found in goal setting and actually making tangible progress towards your goals. It was a really expensive program that I actually paid for a long time ago, many years ago. It actually helped me to write my book and do all kinds of stuff. And I feel the calling to have to look at something like that again around my experiences this year and kind of where my heart is leading me to, the type of work that I want to do, or I'm called to do, right? But in saying this whole thing, right, I know there's women and men who listen to this podcast. Doing things and getting things done and mapping things out like that, that's a very masculine trait. That's a very masculine energy. And so I know that a lot of times women will have a hard time with that task specifically. And it really, I think it does help to break it down, right? I think it helps to break it down, and then you do it the way it ends up working is you set your 90-day targets, right? Things that you're aiming for, and they have to be something that's tangible. So it's I want to improve, for example, I want to improve my business revenue, the money that I'm bringing in, by X amount within 90 days. So say, if you're making $5,000 a month, I want to generate $10,000 a month within the next 90 days, right? So that's the target. Then you'd break that down into the things that you'd have to do in order to get to that target. And you can do what they call 2-week sprints. So over the next 2 weeks, you would say, I'm going to do this thing, where, when, and why, right? So why am I doing this thing? Where am I doing it? So I'm going to do this specific thing in the mornings at the gym, right? You set those things up and you put them on a calendar, and you only focus on 2 weeks. So you're going to do, over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to work on this to improve that, and I'm going to do it here, right? And you set a time and you put it in your calendar. The key for me, the thing that really helped, was to take it out of my head, put it on paper, and actually schedule the thing, right? Now there's a double side to that, is you can't overbook your calendar, because then it becomes overwhelming. And some people have trouble with seeing all those things on their calendar and not allowing or having space for other things. And so you have to keep room for that stuff. But if you put it on your calendar, I do feel like it's helpful. And like in your day, what you're doing so many different things. You're always doing something, mostly, right? But if any of those things that you're doing actually tactically getting you closer to what you want to go, where you want to go, right? Is that true? A lot of times it's not. A lot of times we're just like, oh, I need to meet with this person, I need to meet with that person, I need to do this, I need to take the kids here, I need to do the DMV shit, right? And so you fill your day with all these things, but none of those things are actually getting you towards your goal. And so by putting it on your calendar, right, it can really be helpful in actually including something in your day that's actually going to move you towards what you want to do. And at the end of every 2 weeks, you review. You say, hey, did I do this thing? Did I accomplish what I wanted to do? How can I improve? What went well? What didn't go well? And you can restart, right? And you can start on a new task or refocus. And you're not sitting here with these, lofty ideas without any kind of map or plan, right? And this is explained better. I have another video that I explain this much better. I'm just winging it here, and it's been a while since I've talked through this, but I'm talking through it because I need to do this myself, right? It's 4 months. I've done a lot of self-improvement work, and there's a lot of targets that I have that I want to strive for, and I know I need a kind of a map. I need a game plan. And I've learned over the years how to manage this in a way that's not going to completely overwhelm me, but also give me some structure. And so I need some sort of a balance there. And I'm talking through this for myself and to your benefit, right? Hopefully whoever's listening, if this is something that you would find value in. But I do see the value in structuring a plan, right? Making a plan. Now, your plan's not always going to go according to how you want it, and you have to have flexibility, right? My thing in the past was having very little flexibility and being so rigid and getting upset when things didn't go my way or when a wrench got thrown in my day. And that was just not a good way to be, because life is going to give you unexpected shit. And you need to be able to run with it. You need to be able to flow with it. And so knowing that, having those lessons, I'm going to be talking about this kind of stuff a little bit more because there are things that I want to accomplish this year. And with 4 months already passed, that means we have 8 months left, right? So what can you get done in 8 months? What's possible for you in 8 months? Just ask yourself that question. How would you like to be ending this year, within 8 months? Think about that question. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys. I hope everyone has a beautiful, magical day. Blessings.